Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. Be sure to check me out over on Rumble. There you'll find all of my stuff from YouTube, plus my political and social commentary and weekly current events, which YouTube frowns on. Links to my Rumble channel as well as my other YouTube channels and links to let you order my books are in the description of this video. If you enjoy my content, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. I welcome your comments even if you disagree with me. Now, on with the video. Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing an advanced Dungeons & Dragons monster video on the Magnesium Spirit. Before I get into this though, I'd like to tell you about a new book that I just now got published called The House Off Farrago Road. It's available on Amazon.com. The author's name is H.L. Anderson, and it's just a fun story about a house where the denizens are not quite normal. Mythological creatures and supernatural forces commingle with modern-day law enforcement and the criminal underworld. If the quirky weird piques your interest, check out The House Off Farrago Road. Now, on with this video. I've been playing Advanced Dungeons & Dragons for more than 45 years, and in all that time, I've seen, run into, or against, and run against my player characters all manner of deadly critters. In my opinion, one of the most deadly is the Magnesium Spirit, at least for humans. Magnesium Spirits can be found on page 62 of the Fiend Folio. As a Dungeon Master, be sure to read through the description very, very carefully before you run them against your players. These things can be quite nasty. If nobody in your group is running a human, chances are these things will just ignore them and go on. But if there's humans in your group, yeah, it's going to be an issue. The only real defense for any player character is simply not to be human, not to be part of the human race. And yes, this creature only attacks humans. Elves, dwarves, gnomes, halflings, etc. are all relatively safe. Now, I'm not going to go into how they came to be or how they got to this plane. None of that really matters except for insofar as why it only attacks humans. Regardless, any group containing at least one human is subject to quote-unquote attack. This critter approaches and flares up brightly, blinding every member of the group, regardless of race. They have to make a saving throw versus petrification if they're within 20 feet, or when this thing flares up, or they're blinded. And this is every member of the group, regardless of race. Once this happens, the blindness lasts for 12 turns. That's 2 full hours. 1 turn is 10 minutes. 6 turns is an hour. That's 12 turns. That's 2 hours. And it acts as an illusionist blindness spell, which is quite nasty. You need to read up on that. Once the flare-up goes off, the spirit will then attack the nearest opponents who are human. Blinded opponents have the standard penalties, but regardless, the Magnesium Spirit attacks first, even if there are hasted player characters. Even if your character has a haste spell or has an item that allows them to go first, this thing still goes first. And if its attack is successful, it drains 1 level and 2 strength points. The goal of the Magnesium Spirit is to merge with a human body in an attempt to return home. All it wants to do is go home. The human would have had to be at least 9th level because during the merging process, it drains 4 levels, which will leave the victim at 5th level, which is the bare minimum required to work the spell to send it home. Once completely merged in a 5th level human body, it will shriek out a 5-segment spell, which will transport the spirit and the human body to its home plane, which effectively takes that character out of the game. It's the same as killing them, okay? More or less, because unless you can find a way to get it back, they're pretty well done. You may have to make up another character. If the body it merged with does not have at least 5 levels remaining after the merging, it abandons the body and seeks out another human. Now read through the merging process and how to defend against the Magnesium Spirit. Also read through the consequences of the spirit abandoning the host body. That's just nasty. Magnesium spirits can only be harmed by silver or magical weapons, and it has a 50% magic resistance, as well as immunity to a wide range of spells, including sleep, charm, hold, paralyzation, and fear. This thing is quite nasty. It is vulnerable to holy water, so that's something. On 2 separate occasions, I have lost characters to a Magnesium Spirit. As a dungeon master, I have used a Magnesium Spirit once. The results were 2 human player characters left as mindless husks, and 1 lost when the spirit successfully went home. Nobody knew how to combat them, and eventually all of the non-human player characters who were not blinded fled, abandoning the human player characters to their doom. It was devastating. Few creatures possessed the means to destroy a group of player characters and erode possess the means to destroy a group of player characters and erode their sense of party unity like a Magnesium Spirit does. They are just freaking nasty. I have seen, like I said, groups of. As a matter of fact, in one of the times that my character died from a Magnesium Spirit, all the elves and dwarves took off running. Knowing it was after me, they took off running. Yeah, that destroys party unity like you wouldn't believe. So just be careful if you're a dungeon master. Be careful how you use these in your game. Make for sure it's going to work, and make for sure you have enough party unity where it doesn't destroy it. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, I hope this finds everybody well. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all. Devo Poland, a scientific representative of a pacifist race called the Gandhiri, is sent away as an exchange officer. His objective? To learn the one skill his species never developed, to fight. And he's sent to learn that skill from the one species who does it better than any other in the galaxy, humans. If you like science fiction with an upbeat military tone, check out my novel, Vanguard One.